Hey, what's going on, everybody? Isaac the New Backwoodsman here. Today, I've got a great folding knife for you to check out. Today, we are checking out the Mar. You can see his name there. This is the SERE 2000 folding knife. SERE, S-E-R-E, stands for Survival, Escape, Resistance, or Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape. Got to go in those order. This knife, the Mar SERE, was originally developed back in the 1980s as a large lockback folder with typically you'll see it in brown micarta scales if you look it up on eBay. Very nice knife, very expensive these days. It's quite the collector's item. Even this one is it's getting rare. They don't make these anymore. There's still some for sale though, so don't worry. You can get one if you want one. Now, Mar, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran. He was part of a special ops team of all Asian Americans who went into Vietnam back in the 1950s. What they did there, I do not know. It could be out there, I'm not sure, or if still classified. But after his stint in the military, Mr. Mar went on to work for Gerber Knives and was a chief designer there. He even designed the famed Mark II dagger, which was quite popular in the Vietnam War. Then, after Gerber, in 1979, he formed his own company, Mar Knives, where he started making fantastic combat and EDC type knives. If you look them up, there's tons of really cool fixed blades with this type of design there. And even kind of classy looking lockback folders such as the Eagle. And then Mr. Mar sadly passed away quite unexpectedly in 1991. But his company is moving on, was owned and operated throughout the 90s and up to 2019 or so by some people who continued to have, I didn't mention first, but all of Mar knives were made in Seki, Japan by those highly skilled crafters over there. So, 2020, they were bought out by some company and they started making knives in China. But it greatly reduced the cost. You can get a SERE 2020 for about $35 or so on Amazon. But enough chit chat. Let's go to the table and get a closer look at the SERE 2000. All right, here we are at the tabletop. You can see here we've got green G10 handle scales. They do have some texture. It's not overly aggressive. Got a nice, very deep carry pocket clip here. Screws on to the top of the knife. You can see that there. Stainless steel backspacer and liners. Look how thick they are. And of course the barrel spacers in the middle. Very cool shape for this knife. This is meant to be combat oriented, so these ridges here serve as a finger guard, and you got this cool cutout here for thumb stud deployment, just on the one side though, so if you're a lefty you kind of miss out on that, but it does have dual thumb studs for you lefties. Check out how thick that is. That is 0.15 inches thick, and then it tapers down into this precise point. Thumb stud deployment comes out pretty quick. And just look at that point that this tapers down to. This is a stabber. The Mar logo. Mar is he was the son of Chinese immigrants, and I believe that logo is his name in Chinese. This is made of VG10 Rockwell hardness 59 to 60, so it's pretty good for edge retention. Made in Japan, as I mentioned earlier. It's all Almar knives. Well, I won't say all. The vast majority of Almar knives were made in Japan until the last couple of years. But I first heard about this knife in books by James Morgan Ayres, the survival knives and the tactical knife. Very nice grip. You can put your thumb up there for piercing. It's not a lightweight knife. Comes in at 6 ounces, 3.6 inch blade. Give you a size comparison here. Here's the Buck 110. Probably everybody knows that knife. But I was kind of drawn to this knife. Oh yeah, it's a liner lock mechanism. As I said before, very thick liners. So I'm sure it's a very solid lockup. But yeah, I was just kind of drawn to this knife by, the history. This knife was designed for Army Special Forces SERE School. Almar and Colonel Nick Rowe came up with the design. You can look up Colonel Nick Rowe. I believe he wrote a book about his experiences in Vietnam. I'll have to pick up at some point. But yeah, great, real solid knife. Deep carry clip, kind of cool design with the holes there. Very nice texturing on the G10. Really like it. So, hope you enjoyed this close-up now. Let's go maybe cut some stuff with it. All right, here we are in the backyard. Just bringing out the Almar SERE 2000. Oh, didn't open too smooth there. Thumb got caught. Of course, you gotta use gravity as your friend. Here it is, another look-see here. That cool grind, that really piercing swedge and tip. So we said, little boy's over here, so you'll see him. Got a slide set up here in the backyard. Play for a few minutes. So, SERE, S-E-R-E, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Can this knife help you do those things? Well, when we think of survival, we mostly think of wilderness survival. So can you use this to carve wood into like spears or traps, or cut down limbs? I'd say yes, you can. You could, if you wanted, you can carve this up, you can shave feather sticks. You could help. This knife could help you in a survival situation. Oh, look, here we got some more sticks coming in the video. Read The Tactical Knife by James Morgan Ayres. He has a survival situation where he took some students in the woods, and one of them had this knife, and it helped them do a wide array of things. So, can it carve sticks for fires, traps, anything? You just hand me this one, so let's try that one. Yeah, I mean, it's a sharp knife. You got a sharp knife, it should be able to do that stuff, alright? Now, what are some other essential things for survival? You need food and water. It's not an ideal, skinning, game processing blade, because it doesn't really have a ton of belly, but I'm sure this would do the trick. But it's designed as a combat knife,
Daddy, cut this too.
I'll cut this one too. So, one of the essential things for survival is fire. You use fire for signaling. You use fire for cooking. You use fire for warmth.
Can you use fire for anything else? Maybe, I don't know. But you know, those are some key functions of having fire in survival situation. So let's see if we can use the spine of this to strike a ferro rod. Let's check it out. All right, here we have a few fat wood shavings. So let's take the ferro rod here. Well, it is throwing some sparks, but maybe these shavings aren't potent enough.
Maybe you have to try this one.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I just don't have enough. There we go. There's our fire, folks.
Oh.
So, Mar SERE 2000, it can get that fire started. No problemo. You saw the fire, folks. Now let's check out a couple other things here. I thought I had some zip ties laying around, but apparently I did not. And I found this little piece of one I actually cut the other day off a new cooler with this knife. So let's see if I can, not cut myself here. Cuts through very easily. If it was a bit longer, I could have got that blade up in there, but safety first. Don't want to cut yourself. This is for like the escape part of the sear. So maybe you are tied up with some duct tape, maybe not yourself, but a friend. This, just cut through that, no problemo. Duct tape here. We got a length of 3/8 inch thick rope. Simple. So the evasion part you can't really do with a knife. It's a little small for me to hide behind. I don't know about you, but probably the same. So the evasion part, that's up here. You got to think to do that. Wear some earth tones, hide in the bushes. Simple. Now, the resistance part, it's combat. This is a combat-oriented knife for certain. It's made for piercing. So here, standard hammer grip, slash, stab. I'm no knife fighter. Don't make fun of me, please. But, you can use this part of the guard also as a thumb ramp. Get a little extra power in those stab motions. Feels very comfortable in a reverse grip. If you want to go like that, put your thumb up there, since it's pretty flat on top of the pocket clip there, just those two screws. It's definitely meant for piercing. We got that thick part of the spine that we use to strike the ferro rod, and it narrows down on this swedge to that precise piercing tip. Go for the throat on those bad guys. All right, I think that really about wraps it up. If you want to check this knife out, it's for sale. on a few different dealers yet. I mentioned before, they are not manufacturing this anymore. Knife Center has it, as well as Chicago Knife Works. Probably some others too. You can find them on eBay. The SERE 2020, pretty widely available for very good prices, very cheap, as they are made out of cheaper steels in China. This green version comes in HCR13 MOV steel, and the new version has a flipper opening mechanism, which this is just thumb stud deployment. They also make a blacked out version in D2, and also one with not G10 handles, but some other plasticky material that harkens back to the original SERE knife from the 80s. That's also in D2 steel. They're also coming out with a blackout version in the fall, made in Taiwan with S35 VN steel. So check out Mar Knives and the SERE folder. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.